UPSC aspirants, welcome back to another learning video. So I'm really thinking as to how to start this conversation with you. But if you are an optional English literature aspirant and if you genuinely plan to study and crack your examination, then I'm going to share certain important tips and tricks in today's video with you. We may want to begin this entire thing by questioning ourselves, and what is that question? Maybe why do we have a lot of books prescribed in our syllabi? Why do we think we have this wonderful masterpiece called A House for Mr. Whispers by V.S. Naipaul prescribed in our syllabi? This one is prescribed in paper 2, and this book is approximately 650 pages long. Yeah, so why is this book prescribed in our syllabi? Then, why do we have this beautiful book prescribed in our syllabi? This is called A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man by 20th century modern writer James Joyce. It's not very long, it's something 245 pages long, something like that. Yeah. Then another masterpiece from paper 2, which is called The Passage to India by E.M. Forster. This again is approximately 380 pages long, just that, not much really. Then again another from paper 1, paper 1, it's called George Eliot's Mill on the Floss, another very beautiful book. This is approximately 60 pages long. Yeah. So we may maybe want to question, why do we have these books prescribed in our syllabi? If you look at the syllabi properly, you realize that they have not prescribed any set of specific topics, but complete set of books, which plainly, genuinely, soberly means only one thing, and that is that no amount of notes will help you understand what's inside the book. I'll say that again, and a lot of people may not like it, but no amount of notes will help you understand what's inside the book if you do not go back and try reading the book on your own. See, if you are taking English literature as your optional, then be prepared, make up your mind. These are my specific set of books, and if I have these books prescribed in my syllabi, I'm supposed to read each and every page of it. So why do you bother? My question literally is, why do we bother about something that's not going to help us in the long run? If we know that we're going to get all our end products only from one process, and that process is called reading the entire book, why do we bother about these notes? Why do we bother about anything that's not going to help us in the long run? Well, I am trying to repeat this again and again because, like a lot of other people, I am literally not here to sell, right? And please also try to understand, if you read your books genuinely, then there's nothing like that on this earth. Now, coming back to the main point, if you look at the syllabi properly, you realize that a lot of books that are prescribed in your syllabi are classics. CLASSICS, classics. Now, on that note, what is a classic basically? Calvino very popularly went on to say that a classic is a book that has never finished saying what it has to say. One question that we get from a lot of students, which is, how do we read these classics? They're so boring in nature, the words are archaic, they're unrelatable at times. How do we complete these books? Things like these, questions like these. So in today's video, we're going to discuss certain steps, certain tips and tricks on how we can read these classics that are prescribed in our syllabi. How can we really complete all these books altogether? So we made this video on this very wonderful classic, which is called Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. All the other UPSC optional English literature video links are provided in the description box given below. So my step number 1 is a very easy step, that is, do not be scared. I see a lot of students are scared of just holding the classic. So do not be scared, right? If you want to read it, and if that's there prescribed in your syllabus. Just hold the book and there you go, literally. I also understand that sometimes it may be difficult for students to even start books like these because the structures are different, the language is vintage in nature, but then just hold the book and there you go. Now step number 2, try mapping your book. Now in this particular step, one must try analyzing things like, let's say, how is my book structured? And if it is structured, how is it? In what fashion is it structured? How many chapters are there? What are the number of pages? Right. How is this book really divided? Things like this. So that helps you connect with the book, right? Gives you a push and sort of gives you a clearer picture as to how this entire process of reading any particular book is going to look like for you. Now step number 3, split your book into parts. Here you may want to take into account your reading speed first of all, and maybe try to study, try to analyze how much time you're going to spend reading your book, just reading your book. So let's say if you've decided to read A House for Mr. Biswas by B.S. Naipul, and by now you already figured out things like, okay, how's the book divided, the number of pages, how's the book structured, things like that, right? And you see, okay, this book is 650 or 700 pages long, right? So if you decide that I'm going to read 100 pages every single day, so you may want to complete your entire books by 7 days like that approximately, right? So this is how you split your book into parts and make a goal and finally complete reading it. Step number 4, read with a mentor or a friend. Ephra Behn, author of this very popular work called Oronuku, went on to say that a faithful friend and a good library are the keys to perfect tranquility of life. So reading with a friend or reading with a mentor gives you the energy to keep going. And now step number 5, enjoy the process with all your heart. As I said in the beginning, do not be afraid to pick up these books. I will again say, do not be afraid to put down these books if you wish to. If you do not feel like reading, just put down the book. Do not be afraid to read these beautiful works that are prescribed in your syllabi, no matter how unfamiliar they may sound at times. Stay motivated, drink a lot of water, eat your favorite pastry, but yes, keep reading and read all the works that are prescribed in your syllabus. That's the real key to the entire process that we have. Well, I will wind up everything here. Thank you so much for joining me. To join our optional English literature classes, you may call us at 8865028865 or log on to finlandacademy.com for any information related to our courses. Also, all the links related to optional English literature are provided in the description box given below. Thank you for joining us again. Take care and stay very, very safe.